If you didn't already know, this podcast is on Patreon. That means you can get bonus content, early release access to the podcast, and plenty more at patreon.com/Sly Guy Podcast. To subscribe to the Patreon means you're supporting us to make this show bigger and better than it can have been before, I guess. You're just supporting us to bring you quality, isn't it? That's what it's for. We're a team now. So get to patreon.com/Sly Guy Podcast and support this podcast. We are brought to you in association with Visual Antics Apparel. Visual Antics are the #1 podcast merchandise apparel store on the market. Those guys have helped design the logo for this podcast, and they have put it on to the merch that you can buy. If you want to spend full price, work away. Or if you want to be let in a wee secret, 10% off with the discount code SLYGUY10 at checkout. That's SLYGUY10 at checkout at visualanticsapparel.com, or by following the link in the description of this video. The Sly Guy Podcast is always brought to you in association with Modest Beer. Modest Beer are a delicious local beer company that's spreading faster than COVID. They probably don't want me to say that because it sounds that there's some negative connotations there, but they're on the rise. I tell you what, they won't make you unwell like COVID did. They make you feel much better with their delicious beers, their nice merch, and everything all in the world of Modest. You can sign up to their brews letter at their website, modestbeer.co.uk, and find out what's hip-hop happening. And if you want to purchase some beer or purchase some merch, you can do so with the discount code SLYPA15 at checkout. That's SLYPA15 at checkout to get 15% off your Modest purchase.
I'm the Sly Guy.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Sly Guy Podcast. In a world that has changed, we are a week removed from the American election result where Donald Trump is back. It feels weird, but it is what it is. The world is going to change. The world is going to be different. And this is the first Sly Guy podcast that we've recorded since the date. Now, obviously, last week's episode, you'd be like, well, that was after the date. Yes, but it was recorded before it, wasn't it? So don't be on my back about that. We've stuff to do, people to see, all right? Relax. But it's pretty wild. And I hope everyone's feeling all right in the world. I feel like no matter what anyone thinks about Donald Trump, there's always there's a negativity about everything to do with it. And I think that people get up in arms and they fight and they give off, and there's just a big negative feeling in the world. So let's try to look to the positives. Let's signify you're not into politics, which I'm not a big fan of. Ignore it. Just do your own thing. Look after yourself. Look after your mental health and your well-being, because that's important. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether you're in bed, hopefully feeling good, not depressed, whether you're at the gym, pumping up and slogging away, whether you're just going for a walk with a dog, which is where I listen to a lot of podcasts, albeit true crime, to give myself the willies when I'm out being scared and all. But whatever you're doing, I hope you're well, and hope you're looking after yourselves and not feeling too negative with the world. And if you are feeling a wee bit down in dumps, or you're feeling a wee bit low, I hope that this week's episode will lift your spirits, because this was a fun episode. My guest this week was none other than the audio god himself, Sean McDonnell. Sean is a podcast producer, a man behind the likes of Mudblood, Cork in the North, Show Some Love, Word Up, and Pop Your Cherry podcast with his production company 1620. He's also a singer and guitarist in local band Search Party, who are playing in the Empire on the 15th of November, and you can get your tickets via the link in the description. Sean's also Paddy McDonald's little brother, so it was fun to have Sean on. Sean's a guy I'm a big fan of as a person. He's a great man. He's a new dad as well, so we had a lot of fun chatting about how life in this sort of industry is affected by becoming a parent, how being self-employed, you can balance the work and life with your kids and your family. And it was a fun episode. We talked about playing music in different bars over the years, maybe bars that are associated with some dodgy clientele, how you can dip in and out from being safe and not in some cases. And there's a great story Sean tells about totally disrespecting some guy's final moments. But it was a fun episode. It was a slightly different episode, but it was a really strong, fun episode of the Sly Guy podcast. So if you don't already follow Sean and his work, give him a follow, check him out, go see Search Party. They're absolutely brilliant. and enjoy this week's episode of Sly Guy Podcast with me, Dave Elliott, and my guest, Sean McDonnell. Is this a cardigan?
Is it good?
A cardigan?
It's a cardi jacket.
Is that a thing? A cardi jacket?
Cardi jacket.
Yeah, I mean...
It's like the da version of a shacket.
Fuck, a da version of a shacket. I'm a big shacket wearer these days. Like, I think...
I was looking for a shacket this morning. And I actually had like a wee bowling shirty shacket type of material.
Nice.
Put it on the iron and the fucking thing burnt through.
See, bowling shirts, that's the problem with it. You're gonna burn. But this is I need to be honest, this isn't entirely mine. This was my dad's, and I think he's like, "Do you want this?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'll try it." And I didn't try it, and just left it sat over the sofa, and just grabbed it on the way out, and now it's mine. And here we are, debuting it on the podcast. And
who are you wearing?
It's I think, what did you say it was? A Carter jacket?
A Carter jacket.
Yeah, so this is it. And
that's also the name of the designer.
A Carter jacket. I'm wearing
Carter jacket.
The Carter jacket by Carter jacket. Yeah, it's seriously the name of the episode. First 20 seconds in, we've got the Carter jacket, and we're sound. Thankfully, we've had Sean on the podcast today, because I mean, this has become an on-running joke, long time for the listeners, that my audio just gets fucked every so often, and I keep saying that I'm blaming the cleaner for touching my shit, moving my shit.
Non-listeners.
Yeah, but you know what? You're here and you're the man in the know, because would you self-proclaimed audio god of the Northern Irish podcast scene?
I've been known as that.
Yeah,
I've been called that name most places I go.
Audio god.
Audio god.
Yeah.
So that's me, Sean McDonnell. Audio god.
The audio god. I mean, it does sound like a rock band too.
Audio god. It sounds like a 2007 Jack Black film.
Yeah. Which we need to find the audio god. That wasn't bad. I've never tried Jack Black before. Yeah. Kyle. Yeah. The audio god. But yeah, you are a jack of many trades. A jack of all trades, you could say.
Jack Black of all trades.
Yeah, Jack Black. If only I had your hair. Great look. But so you are, first of all, would you say, well, how would you describe yourself? I think it's better to ask you that rather than...
I've landed on the term producer recently. So like Timbaland, Pharrell Williams, Sean McDonnell,
aka Audio God.
Yeah, Audio God.
So you work across. So for anyone who doesn't know, a lot of the podcasts you listen to, this guy is a producer of it. Yeah. I said that like I just had a stroke. The producer. So you've Mudblood under your stable. You had Cork in the North, one of my favourites to appear on. You have Show Some Love.
Yeah.
Word Up.
Yep.
And you've a new one, Jerry Loves.
Which is what's
Pop
it called? My Cherry.
Now, for anyone that doesn't know, that sounds like it could entail something a little bit cheeky. What's the gist?
It's provocative. It gets the people going. You know?
Like, gets it going. Yeah.
So like Jerry started with us about like 2 months ago. And Jerry is like such a cool character, you know. So he's comes from the influencer world. So like obviously most of the pods I do is like all comedy and like, but Jerry's like this whole new thing. So on a Tuesday, if I was recording Andrew or whatever, I'd have you walking in, I'd have Aaron, I'd have James McKegney. Yeah. But now I'm having like these girls are like fucking Instagram models who have like 200,000 followers, and Jerry's like, all right, Sean, like look who we have in the day, and I'm like, how's it going? Yeah, no idea,
no clue who.
but it is so good, it's so funny, and he's flying with it. So
nice. And that and what is there a gist to it? Like it's called Pop My Cherry. Is there like an element of it that
there's no gimmick, other than like there's 3 segments that reoccur. So a bit of an agony aunt segment, you know, answering people's dilemmas. There's like hot or not. Taking certain topics.
Oh, topics! So, I just thought it was straight up people. Like I would have liked that. Just photographs of influencers, hot or not. Nah,
stinking.
I mean, that's what the world's missing. Like, see nowadays, everything's all about, you know, just be kind to everybody. You know, when really should be like, nah, back like it was in stinking.
I should have just come in here and been like, Dave, fuck this podcast,
Yeah.
get your shit together.
Well, I mean, I think for the first 10 minutes before, half an hour before we recorded, yes, I needed somebody to go to me, Dave, what the fuck, put your shit together. But yeah, thankfully you were here to sort that. But yeah, I would like to, because I noticed I would say like through doing podcasts, I'm sure you know there's a lot of people who work well as guests on other people's podcasts. Like I find I have a good rapport when I'm recording with Andrew for talk's sake or Aaron. There are people that I always have a good back and forth. Shane's another one, and my probably people always associate me like if I were to say I had a double act or a sidekick or somebody that was the yin to my yang, it's Psychic Glenn.
Yeah.
And I saw
/ Baldy Paul.
Yeah, so no one wants to see Baldy Paul. I'd seen Psychic Glenn. It done pop my cherry. I'm keen to know, first of all, why nobody asked my permission if Glenn was allowed to go on our podcast, because that hurt my feelings. And secondly, what was he doing on Jerry's pod and how'd that go?
The answer to that is no one will really ever know to an extent, because that was like a 3 hour podcast. It was condensed down to like an hour and 15.
Okay.
So like it was a wild ride.
Did you have to do a lot of work that day on the edit?
I did. It was maybe 4 podcasts worth of like for one podcast. Yeah. Which was it was great fun doing it anyway, but a lot of work. But I love Glenn so much.
Yeah.
I'll see him every now and again, you know, like he lives around my way. So like every now and again I'll see him out in the dressing ground, you know, like greeting his fans.
Yeah, he is the king, the queen of North Belfast, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's the
official title.
Yeah. And so you're the audio guy and he's the queen of North Belfast. But
yeah.
It's weird because Glenn at the minute he had left, he had gone away to Spain and now he's back. And I was sad that he left. But now that he's back, I'm kinda like, you know, I'll just let him do his thing for a while, and then when he's ready to come back, that seat, you know, that I call that the Glenn seat. You know, it's Glenn's seat. So it's
Glenn predicted my wife's pregnancy.
No. when that happened, were you like, we're trying to get pregnant? And he was like, you're going to get pregnant? Or what did he do? How did he do it?
Like we hadn't told a fucking soul, right? That we were trying. And like it had been like 4 months at this point, you know, and like attempt after attempt. I think that's what you call attempts.
An attempt. Whenever you're married, yes, it's an attempt. Yes. It's definitely an attempt.
I've got a fucking worse conversion rate than Darwin Núñez. But so this is month 4 and he's doing Mudblood, and he turned around to me out of the blue. For one, said, here, by the way, Sean has a monster cock and I can just tell. And they were like, all right. And then he says, and also here, it's worked.
Yeah.
You know, like that's it. You know, it's I can't remember the words, but he basically just gestured to me like, yeah, she's pregnant, and I was like, what? And and he came up to me afterwards after we stopped recording, because he sort of made it mystic, as in like it was a bit of a joke, but then afterwards, like put his hand on my arm. And
all right,
like,
as long as he
don't.
Yeah, grab.
He's like, I was been trying long, and I was like going, oh, we will.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's gonna be a boy.
Yeah.
I was like, and I was going, what? And like, sure enough, she's fucking pregnant.
But was it a boy though?
It was a boy. See, we Liam.
Yeah.
6 months now.
See, there you go. You should have called him Glenn.
I should have called him Glenn.
Well, no, that's the thing with Glenn.
Is his first name not Psychic?
So it is. That's right. Yeah, I forgot that. And that's maybe why I ended up doing it. You know? I know if ever there's somebody that'll answer to that, he would. But he thought that's the thing about him.
That's what they called him in Spain. It's like Leia. That's the worst Spanish accent.
Mr. Glenn. But he does. That's the thing with him, right? He'll do stuff, and obviously, like when we first met, I was very skeptic about any of that kind of world, right? And through becoming good friends with Glenn, I feel like I have a view on, like, I don't know whether you call it psychosis or not, but whatever that thing, psychism, whatever it is known as, mediumship, say. I know it's a different thing entirely, and if he was here, he would, in his own words, spread my cheeks. I'd be in trouble for that. So, but like that whole thing, I just didn't understand it, and I was very open to not spreading cheeks. I'm very well aware of what that means and entails, but like it's like God. You know, when people talk to you about God, you're like, nobody really knows. So I just go, you know, it is what it is. I'm not going to argue with somebody that there is a God. I'm not going to argue with somebody that there isn't. You know, it's that kind of thing. But Glenn's done a few wee things over the course of our friendship where I've gone,
that's freaky.
That's freaky. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, none more than when he unveiled Baldy Paul to me for the first time. That was the most startled I've ever been in my life. But like when we did the show that we filmed for BBC, Lesser Spooked Ulster, he was like, he's kind of shit out of me in one, but he got really spooked in one place and was like, there's spirits up there. And like I said this to Shane on Halloween podcast that we went up to a room and a picture fell off the wall and it did scare shit out of us. And that happened. Like there was no like knocking it off for effect or whatever. And then he was like, get me out of here, Dave. I'm scared in here, Dave. And I was like, yeah, you're scared. You're making me scared, you know? And there's been a few wee things that he's called and predicted. And then the World Cup, we were doing tea with me and Shane was like, who's going? He's like, I don't know who's in. He goes, just pick Argentina. He just goes. And then, lo and behold, Argentina win the World Cup. So there's a few too many things that are just,
and
you know.
Apparently his sister is wanting the praise guy like twice. First time $250,000, second time 300,000.
I mean, you take that.
Yeah. So like, that's a thing. Are we underutilizing Glenn's part?
Yeah, I maybe think so. I think that's the thing because people, but you know
staring us straight in the face.
But what I will say about him, I think he's one of the most genuinely lovely people I've ever met in my life.
Oh yeah.
You know, I think he's an absolute heart of gold and I love him. And I just hope now that he's back, he's grand. I hope he settles in because he, Glenn, who is well and feeling good and positive, is a great source of joy in the world. You know, he's a great, but I mean, so I don't know, I could sit and talk to him forever.
He's just fun.
With stuff because he's so much fun, but also he knows a lot of weird stuff, and he knows a lot of, and then he predict, like, obviously, like, and then that's another thing. You would think going into that world of like mediumship and psychics and stuff that like a lot of people's first like opinion on it is take the piss. You know, they stroke money off people. Glenn won't do the mediumship. He's like, I don't do that. I don't talk to the dead or whatever because I think it is taking advantage of people's. But he goes, he predicts stuff all the time. You know, which is so. Yeah, shout out to Glenn.
Shout out to Glenn. So. This goes out next week.
Yes.
So we're going to look like idiots if we sit and talk about the election.
You know what? It goes out next week. We won't look like idiots because this is the thing, right? See, in life, sometimes people are busy. You have a guy who looks like an old dad, and you have a guy who now is.
Is it that?
Is it that? How old is Liam?
6 months.
6 months, and this is a fun thing to talk about. Obviously, I love being a dad. It's great crack, and. How have you found your life overall has changed in terms of work and the work-life balance?
A whole lot and not a whole lot at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like, so
you've been hanging around a Glen too much.
Yeah,
it's going to happen, but it might not.
Duality of man. Like, I feel like I'm still doing everything I was doing, and that's sort of. But I had set it up to be that way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I left my job last October, so like over a year ago now. And the reason was because it was like, if I do the podcast, I can schedule it around the baby. I can, you know, still be able to play like at the weekends and gig and so it all that has worked out. But it's just there's just a lot more on the plate, and there already was a lot on the plate.
Yeah,
it's like Cosmos, you know.
Yeah. Oh, and when I go to Cosmos, it's always a full plate.
Yeah.
Always.
But it's such a waste. Because like I tend to like go up and I go, oh, I'm having the fucking lasagna with the chicken curry and these fucking chicken goujon things, and then you come down and finish one plate and you go, I'm busted. You're
ruined. See, you always get excited first of all with the first plate. That's my advice to anyone. Just calm it out, pace it out. Treat it like a buffet at a breakfast, you know what I mean, a hotel. Go have a wee starter, your wee breakfast starter, go and have a wee bit of that, then have your main course, and then have your wee breakfast dessert. You know, maybe a wee bowl of cereal to start, fried breakfast, and then the wee dessert of pastry.
For a wee hotel
Oh,
breakfast buffet.
I know, there's nothing better. I'm freaking watching what I mean at the minute and writing it all down because it's a wee book and all there. And shite. I just basically, and again, this is an old dad thing too. My entire outlook, I don't know if you notice, it changed on everything when I became a dad. I stopped kind of caring about the stuff I cared about before, and it was all like, it'll be grand. I don't know if you found the same with that, or if it's
well, like, it's, you think that the world's going to end in terms of, like, you think that you're going to go destitute and fucking like I was here, but every time a problem comes up, you have more, as life goes on, you get more data to be like, that last time I thought like everything was going to shit and it was okay, so this thing isn't as bad, so it's probably going to be all right.
Yeah, and that's a good way to look at it. But I found like I only cared really about the kids, and as long as they're all right.
Yeah.
So then I found,
so you just I don't give a fuck what I mean.
So like my problems are like, and like that's what I definitely got big time out of shape, because the first thing to go was the time, you know. And I think everything in life I always say is about managing time, and whatever you put the priority in is the thing. And to me, I just threw everything into the kids and then work.
Yeah.
So to fall off the back of that was just got lazy with eating, got lazy with the gym.
Yeah.
Put on a lot of weight, got out of shape. And
meanwhile, you're like a PT and nutritionist for the kid.
Yeah.
Like, you're tracking every meal, every like shit, and every like feed, and every time they sleep, and you're like jotting it all down in the diary, getting them up at 5 a.m. Like, there's like
winners win. You have to get up early.
The kids are like David Goggins now.
But that actually, that was a funny moment that happened in my life once. I think I was having a ham and cheese toastie with coleslaw, and my sister called around the house, and I was feeding Holly, who's my eldest at the time. She's just gone on the food, and my sister's like, "Look at what's going on here." I think I had a big cup of tea and a ham and cheese toastie, all the cheese coming in, coleslaw. I love it. See if I get on death row, ham and cheese toastie with coleslaw would be one of my choices. Probably my starter for my last meal. But she was like, look at you. I went, what do you mean? She goes, you're shoving that in you, and look what the kid's eating. I said, what do you mean? She was eating like just grilled chicken breast, sweet potato and broccoli. She's like, why are you feeding her like a bodybuilder and you're eating shit? I was like, that's a good point, you know?
That's exactly the same. So like I've like the cupboard of shame in the studio. So it's like,
that's next level, hiding it.
Yeah. So like I have a cupboard full of penguin bars, mini rolls, pot noodles, like those like the off-brand fucking noodle bowls.
Yes.
So I've about 7 of them in there, like tins of Fanta, and packets of onion rings. So like if I didn't get up early enough to make myself a sandwich, and or like somebody rings me and they're like, fuck, this is starting in half an hour, and I'm like, bollocks, and then it's cupboard of shame time.
But then what that happens then, I find stuff like that, is you go, I've got the cupboard of shame there, so I don't need to, you know what I mean? So you're like, the cupboard of shame's got my back there. And then you're turning up and you're going, because like I don't know what it, like I think I have some kind of eating problem in that I just do too much of it, you know. That is it. But like there was a wee period there where like if I'm bad, it's like when I eat badly and I don't train, that just is the start of all my shit happening. And like I go through a file when I'm really off the wagon, like I'm almost craving, like it's always McDonald's breakfast. That's always the one that I'm like, oh. And like if I have that craving, it's hard to beat. Whereas now it's gone, I'm like, I feel like I'm on the right track, and that's it. But then if I go off, I'm off. Like, so I have to, like, everything has to be meticulously.
What's your McDonald's breakfast order?
Oh, right, okay. The Mighty McMuffin is just
sausage or bacon.
It's got bacon and sausage in it, my friend.
Sausage and bacon.
It's the Mighty McMuffin. Yeah, go for that. Right. Then you get of course, you get the thing with it, hash brown.
Hash brown.
Yeah, and then you get a coffee of some description. Now, if you're being super greedy, you probably get a breakfast roll too, and maybe a bacon cheese flatbread aside. You know, that's if you're going really off the wagon. You know,
I go for double sausage McMuffin, extra hash brown, flat white.
See, that's a solid one.
Yeah,
it's just so nice, and I don't care what anyone says. Like people always go, like, McDonald's is shit. McDonald's is the greatest restaurant in the world because it is always great. You never get a McDonald's apart
Fuck
from
McDonald's at the same time.
Yeah, well, I mean, also, yeah, fuck, because you guys, my insides,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, see, today, I had to do half an hour on a bastard treadmill on an incline because of you let me get like this, and now I'm on a wee, I'm on a run, but you know what, I'm feeling better, you know, I'm feeling better, and I'm feeling
How
more focused.
are you not jacked as a dad? You know what I mean? I'm holding this guy for like
Oh, yeah.
the guts of an hour, and I'm going. And ever see the way they say a tennis ball? If you hold it for too long, it starts to feel the weight of a bowling ball.
Yeah.
Like, so you're holding this fucking other human being for an hour.
They're not still. They're wiggling a bit, so you have to kind of.
And they won't let you sit down with them.
No.
So you have to walk about. So I'm going like, how am I not shredded? Have I not got cum gutters? Like,
well,
like.
Because
I'll
tell you why. The draw of shame. That's
The draw of
it's
shame.
getting you. But no, you definitely have different like power. Like dad strength's definitely a thing. Like your grip.
Yeah.
Oh, your grip becomes unbelievable because you're just always grabbing things, lifting things, carrying shopping bags. See, why does a baby be that size? And then when you go anywhere, you need to have a 4x4 to take it out with all the shit that goes with it. It's ridiculous.
And no doubt you forget something. We forgot the baby bag going to Tesco's one time, and he shit everywhere. And so we had the bag, like, so then just realizing that we didn't have just that one bag, right? Mm-hmm. So to clean him up, we had to buy in the shop. It's as well we're in Tesco's, so we had to buy fucking wipes, a packet of nappies, a new vest, a new baby grow, like, and then the rest of the time we had to carry him because the fucking shit leaked through into his pram as well. So we had to wait until we got home so we could clean the pram as well.
I'll tell you, you're lucky you weren't Holland and Barrett. You used to fuck turmeric and cashew nuts at him and be like, just hard up.
Protein shakes.
Yeah, just fucking get that in. In fact, you don't need any more protein shakes because you've done a protein shake everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, but they're just...
See the circle back around to the, death row dinner. Mm-hmm. Like,
you're not going to say baby shit, are you?
No, not baby shit. But see if, like, we're talking, like, Cosmo scenario here, and choose anything you want. What happens if you get the fucking death row and you get excited that, right, this is going to be my last meal, and you have, like, right, first plate chicken curry, and you're like, actually, I'm fucking full up. I can't eat that flaming yawn.
I know, you'd have...
And the plate of tortellini.
A bit of me, I would be like, you know what? Because there was one dude I remember reading about, was on his last meal. He, apparently, from all accounts, guy's a bit of a shit. I think that's what... I think he was a mass murderer or whatever. Yeah. But he was like, he chose to be shot by firing squad because he's like, that'll take longer to clean up. So that was his thought. He was like, I'll take longer to clean up if they shoot me. Fuck them. I think he chose to eat loads. So he would be full of shit and full of food. And just if they shot him, it might ooze out. And
what a bastard.
I know, but I mean, if you're gonna go out, you may as well go out with a full gut. I think I could probably force it in, like if I was, and then I'd also eat along as well. You know, if I was getting killed.
Do you ever get those like pizza boxes in the Chinese?
See, honestly, no. But these are like things that like urban legends. For anyone who doesn't know, it's not so Chinese, I don't think. But what do you get in these boxes? Like chicken balls and tell me what's all in it.
Salted chili chicken, salted chili chips, chicken balls, ribs. Sometimes you'll get the bigger ones with fried rice in it, chicken curry, onion rings, spicy sausages.
Spicy Chinese sausage?
Spicy Chinese sausage.
Wow.
I've encountered those once or twice.
I've never encountered a spicy Chinese sausage before. That's the thing. What are the spices in a Chinese sausage?
I don't know, and I've been trying to master it. You know what? I can't. The place that done them isn't there anymore. So I've tried everything, like with Danny's, cut them up and trying to.
Still not.
Can't master it.
Have you googled it? Spicy Chinese sausage.
I don't want to. That's not a Google I want to make. Fuck. But I have the luxury actually, because I do loads of the podcasts, that I'm logged into everybody's fucking Google accounts. So if I need to do a questionable Google, I just log into Willie Thompson's.
Yes. Oh wow. I'm sure his Google's quite an experience.
Which is, and then when I log in there, it's already got the most detestable fucking searches there.
Have you ever seen anything in the Google searches that made you go, oh wow?
Yeah, it was like, I can remember one time.
Was it Willie?
It was Willie. And there was one time and he was away in Edinburgh. And I remember I was like uploading one of the episodes. And it had said something like, "What's this lump in my arse?" And I was like, "You alright, lad?" I was like, "No, it was like something we were laughing about, me and Mickey." And I was like,
"Oh yeah,
you can tell me."
I love that he asked the question. What's this lump in my arse?
I don't know if it was exactly that, but it was something medical. And I was like, "Oh fuck." And like, because sometimes, like, you know, clearly, you know, he'll forget to fucking put save search on.
But yeah, that's the thing you got to watch out for these days, your Google searches.
I know. That's because, like, there's, like, now no fucking privacy with, because now I've also got, like, me and Luke make the podcast, and, and so, like, we're sharing fucking accounts and all too, so, you know.
So if anyone going down, they're all come down with you.
Maybe Glenn was just, like, on my Google, and he had saw me looking at fertility tests.
Maybe Glenn was one of the first, you know, those like hyperlink guys, Elon Musk with his brain chip, and he's just got your Google search in his head.
I'm convinced that's the way mediums work.
Yeah. That they're robots.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine he just goes, "William, something wrong with your hole," and he's like, "What? No, I don't think so." He goes, "There is. I'm telling you." I'll be telling. I'm gonna tell him all. That's what you should do, right? Tell me what Willie's been searching. I'll tell Glenn, and then I'll just get Glenn to message him and be like, "Yeah, it'd be very funny."
But Willie will be so nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
Like, and give you such a that's because he did give me such a calm response. It was just like, "Oh yeah, me and Mickey were just fucking laughing."
Yeah, that's his answer to everything though. Oh, me and Mickey were looking up Mia Khalifa and all, seeing what she's up to and all other stuff.
I like wondering what she's working at.
Yeah, and what's she? Is she a journalist or something? God, who is she anyway? I don't know.
No idea. So fucking never mind the election one about the fucking football. It's been off the charts.
I mean, the football has sucked for me as an Arsenal supporter for the last couple of weeks. It's been a tough few weeks, but football for anyone listening, we're a week behind. A week behind what you're saying and listening. Yeah. So yeah,
we're just reacting to the old stuff.
You're a Man United fan?
I'm a Liverpool fan.
Liverpool? You loving it then? No. Arne Slot, do you like him?
I love Arne Slot.
He's too casual, isn't he?
He's a bit of a robot.
Yeah.
He's like, I think he's got like some sort of learning difficulty where he's like hyper focused.
Yeah.
On everything, and like, cause every time he goes on those interviews, like he gets really pernickety every time somebody like gets something wrong about his formations or like what positions people play, and like. Apparently he was telling Trent to fucking defend like to turn his shoulder 7 degrees more clockwise when he's like squaring up to a man. So I think he's crazy, but it's clearly effective.
Mm-hmm. Because everyone sort of thought Liverpool would be transitioning a bit this year, didn't they? They sort of be. But were you a big club fan, or you sad to see him go, or are you?
Oh, massively! I cried. As sad as that is, as a grown man, I cried. I would do I'd play gigs for like the Liverpool supporters clubs. So like doing like playing like the Liverpool songs.
Yeah, crying in Liverpool.
But I was doing one in Common Market there on like for Klopp's last game.
Like for Klopp or for just the Liverpool supporters?
No, I wish it was for Klopp. Like fuck, I need a concert. Who's that ginger guy that makes my blood?
Yeah, fucking loves it.
Oh, Audio God, yeah.
Yeah. You should have said.
Audio God, it sings to Liverpool songs.
Yeah.
So I done it, and I remember watching like the match afterwards and sitting on my own because like fucking Nicole had just had Liam, and also I'm sitting on my own drinking a pint, fucking watching football, crying.
Listen, it'll do it to you. Football will do it. Like I last weekend, it was my anniversary. And we had planned to go out, and Arsenal got beat by Newcastle. And I fucking wrecked my day. Only good thing was, the only reason I went out was because Man City then lost. I was like, oh, whoa. But then you get frustrated. You're like, if only we'd have fucking won.
Yeah.
You know, I caught it, but
it drastically affected my mood at the weekend there because we had a gig out in Portadown.
Well, that in and of itself would be pretty.
It's
depressing.
pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
For two, had to fucking pick the other guy in the band up from Lisburn.
Oh,
Fuck.
oh no, it just gets worse.
I fucking took the wrong turn, started heading out towards Craigavon.
Stuck in the roundabouts, and that's you there forever.
I was running about 20 minutes late and turned up, and the other guy had fucking messed up the dates. And we weren't actually playing in Portadown. And I had to...
So where were you playing?
Nowhere. Actually, technically, Ardoyne. But we had told Demons that we fucking double booked because we had this gig in Portadown.
But were you able to go back and do it alright?
No.
No.
So an awkward trip home from Portadown, but luckily I turned around to him and I was like going, see if Liverpool hadn't won today,
Oh,
I would have been in such a foul fucking mood here.
yeah. But I mean, that's the thing, like I get, and I mean, I don't know if Nicole's the same, but Catherine will say stuff to me that doesn't help when I'm in a bad mood by football. Oh, sure, it's only a football match, what do you care? No, that's not for you to say.
No, see, Nicole's maybe worse than me because she's a fucking massive Liverpool fan as well.
Uh-huh.
So she is. It helps when she's just as annoyed.
Yeah.
Because if the two of us are like getting angry of each other, we both know
Liverpool.
Yeah.
But hopefully,
But my ma's like that.
Uh-huh.
So like, say if I'm ever over at my ma's house and I'm watching football, and she comes in and like when you're winning, it's great. You know, she
Is
hears.
she a Liverpool supporter too?
No, she doesn't watch football. My dad's a Celtic fan.
So what's she getting annoyed about?
No, she doesn't get annoyed.
All right. Oh, but maybe you mean she doesn't. She's like, it's only football.
Yeah, so she comes into the room, and if you're winning, that's great. She'll go like, "I copy days of the winning, brilliant." But then, if you're losing, she notices that it's dead quiet. But she'll make a point to come into the room and go, "They're not winning, no."
I ain't right.
Nah. She goes, right. Is that like a big game or anything, or?
Every game is a big game.
She's like, sure, it's only football.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you getting annoyed for? And you're going, get it.
Like, this is the same. Like, my mum knows now because my dad is he's too angry about it. You know, I remember once.
Who's your dad support?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
He was the one that gave me this affliction. I blame him for this. Mm-hmm. But I remember the worst with him that I think was just serious. It was an issue. Was Arsenal lost a European Cup Winners' Cup final. A guy called Naeem lobbed David Seaman from the halfway line. I have to be very careful when I say that.
That's a very trippy sentence.
Because if I don't use his first name, if I just go Naeem lobbed Seaman from the halfway line, you know, you're going, wow, he's no problem getting people pregnant. You know, but it was like last minute, and it was an absolute screamer in fairness. But I remember my dad punched a hole in the wall. He's walked by, thump. And it was right through, and we had to like cover it up, put a picture over it and all, because he took it bad. Now he would have been probably in that age, probably about the age I am now. Like, I don't think I'd ever punch through a wall in rage, but there's times that I'll be properly pissed, and then I get so pissed because being an Arsenal supporter, Arsenal never win anything that really, like, they've never won the Champions League. Even Aston Villa have won it twice.
Yeah,
and you're just going, they've won it once actually. Villa,
Forest
won it twice, and you're just going. Chelsea have won it twice, and then they're like, we're the greatest club in London. Yeah, because you're fucking run by an oligarch, you bastards, and you bought it. But, and that's the same with Man City, it's not a real club. But Arsenal never win it, and it's always, they get so close, and then they always get just screwed.
You know, growing up, I had a wee soft spot for Arsenal, even as a Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
Like, not that I supported them, but out of the other five, I was like, they're alright, you know. Yeah. Things because I had mates that were Arsenal fans and they weren't dicks.
Yeah.
Whereas all my mates that were Man United fans, they were still my mates, but they were cocks about football.
Yeah, they're all cocks about. Man United fans are all cocks. But I hate it. I hate supporting Arsenal, and I hate it because they always give you hope, and then they always destroy it. Like this season, I was like, you know what, we drew against Man City. I thought we got screwed that game. A couple of refereeing decisions have cost us this season, but we were just shite against Bournemouth and we were shite against Newcastle. And I think Arteta doesn't know what he's at. In game, can't change it up, doesn't know the squad for it. Like,
so are you Arteta out?
I'm not, but I also think that I feel, and I'm apologies for anybody listening that's not football fans, this has deviated greatly, but I feel like he doesn't know. Like, I feel like watching Arsenal, they're wasting time at the start. So you feel like there's no, like, watching the good old Arsenal teams of years gone by that have started, like, out of the traps really fast and try to Arsenal and if they go behind, it's like in Newcastle, they're never going to score. You knew that, and I think that unless like if they get a lead, they're good at defending it. But until they do that, and then until they play Liverpool, they fucking throw it away twice.
Fuck. They're a great squad, but no, I don't know what it is. So like, do you think they need something fresh in there?
Well, Edo's left now, so that'll be interesting. You know, I think. But this is the thing, you know, do we need something fresh? Is what we have at the minute worth changing? Is that always a good thing? Like, to spin it back around, the elections in America happened. DT is back. Is he the first ever president to do the double with a wee break in between? I think so.
DT, because of all the Arsenal chat, I thought we were talking about the guy off fucking
no,
Arsenal fan TV.
That's another thing. I hate Arsenal fan TV. They're always
they were the downfall of the club, weren't they?
But
Donald Trump.
Trump is back, and what are your thoughts on it? Do you care? Are you one of these people that cares about it? Do you not really take much attention?
I haven't given much of a fuck.
Yeah,
with this one.
Yeah,
it's just like I went. Look, that's unfortunate, but
yeah,
I mean Liverpool are top of the league,
so
I'm
that's what matters.
That's genuinely what my thought was this morning. After reading it, I was like,
on the BBC website, Trump's won sport Liverpool top of the league. Nice.
Yeah, I was like, not everything shit.
But you know what? I also find people from here like so interested in Donald Trump and in Kamala Harris. It's like, get a life. I mean, now I know it affects the world, yes. However, I sort of think people don't realise that all politicians are shits to an extent. You know, when you get to that level, there's always, people are all crooked and there's all shit going on. Like, you think amount of people, if you were to have a quick scan through social media, the majority of people in terms of like things that people politically have opinions on, you've Gaza is one thing, the Russia-Ukraine war. Trump won't get involved in that. You know, he might even do the opposite and be like, right, knock us in the head in Gaza with Israel, because he doesn't like war. He's not a war guy. He is just all about like anti anybody that's not American, which if you're America, it's probably all right. But I just think people that are so into it, it's like, guys, we have been run for years by DUP and Sinn Féin. Like, if you want to go back in history and look at people who are not ideal individuals, look at those two. You know what I mean? And we're going like Trump is and that. I just think, you know, to me, that's what I found, and it's probably it, and it's definitely ignorant. But since I had kids, that was one of the big things I noticed was, as long as I can provide for them, that's really all I care about. So now with governments and stuff, I'm like, everyone's too fucking expensive. Make it cheaper. Make childcare more affordable. You know, do things like that rather than, you know, certain other things. You
certainly sort of de-radicalize, I think. You know, as you get older. Like, I remember, like, when I was in school and then when I was in, like, late teens, early 20s, like, I was, like, oh, like, yeah, for the people.
Yeah.
Like, I briefly joined the Socialist Party. And went to one meeting, and like, it was a wee bit cultish.
Yeah,
it was a wee bit cultish.
But see, that's the thing.
And they just talked about fucking the Scottish referendum that happened.
I
like,
think you said talked about fucking and be like that.
They talked about
yeah.
It's very cultish. They all had this Kool-Aid, and I was like, nah, I'm alright. Have a battle, Lucas.
So they were pro Scottish independence.
Yeah, and they were having this big debate about it, which they all agreed with each other, but yet we're still fighting. And it went on for 4 hours, and I was like, that's the least fun I've ever had in my life. I was like, fuck politics. And ever since then, I've been like completely disillusioned. I've tried to act like I know what I'm talking about a few times, but like at the end of the day, as you said, it's hard to give
a fuck.
Because honestly, like, for me, as long as, like, you know, we've got food on the table and like and that we're happy, and then I get to spend a bit of time, you know, like playing about with Flame, and then I'm happy. As long as I get a Chinese at least once a week.
Yeah, you're a happy man.
And get to watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
See, I mean, that's what I think a lot of things politicians should be at. You know, I think they should just be like, listen, what we'll do, we'll reduce the prices of Sky a bit so you can watch RuPaul. Do you know what I mean? Chinese's, we're going to cut the tax on their on their rent.
We're bringing back spicy
So
sausages.
We're bringing back spicy sausages. See stuff like that, like the stuff that actually like make petrol cheaper, things like that. But see the amount of times I see like it's always DUP Sinn Féin fighting over stupid stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, guys, why is this such a big like? Whenever they shut down the government about the sea border, you're like, guys,
Or the Irish language.
or that, yeah, and you're like,
I'm a
guys,
fucking fluent Irish speaker. It wasn't like
yeah,
the Gestapo were going about the streets like
yeah,
whipping me for speaking Irish.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean,
Like-
my view on that is people want to speak it. It's a big issue, like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, I think it's always having to have everything here has to be like, well, fair getting we want it. No one gives a fuck about Ulster Scots here. Nobody, like, no one can really speak it. And it's like, but
We're speaking it right now.
we
I don't know
have
what
to
you're
have it.
talking
I know,
about.
but it's like, fucking, I do know him, but it's like it just fucking pisses me off. And you're like, guys,
Am I waiting?
doesn't have to be.
He's got some
yeah. But it's like the whole thing, and guys, just does that really matter? You know what I mean? And then they're like, though, there's going to be, and you're like with the DUP, you're like, the reason why the whole, protocol is the way it is was because you kept saying no to everything, and that was kind of the last fucking thing.
Yeah.
So if you'd have like taken Theresa May's deal, it would have been way sweeter for you. You wouldn't be here. But it's that thing in politics that annoys me. It's double standards and the hypocrisy. Obviously, everything that's going on at the minute with like Jeffrey Donaldson's situation, he's obviously going through the courts that's being dealt with, but then he's holier than thou for years and years, like condescending and judging over people. And you're like, hold on, what the fuck,
Yeah.
And then what's going on with Sinn Féin at the minute? You're going, guys, maybe fucking take care of your own housekeeping before you come out and fucking worry about this. Make shit cheaper, make petrol cheaper, make life cheaper.
Chinese is cheaper.
Make Chinese cheaper. You
I
know
don't
what?
get MAGA hats, but just make Chinese
Yeah,
cheaper.
make Chinese cheaper. What'd that be? MCC. Chinese. MCC, just to make sure that wouldn't work.
No.
No.
It'd be awful.
Bring back
marketing
spicy
jobs.
chocolate sausage.
Bring back spicy sausage.
But no, I just think the whole thing's pissed me off. But then I just, all it ever is like, and then they're like, get rid of the Tories. And then Labour comes in, they're like, oh, we're upping the taxes. Fuck. We have to because those Tories are bastards. Fuck. Then about Trump, he's like, oh, Biden was shit. You're like, oh, fuck. It's just a constant cycle of shit.
It is.
And that's why, what you need to do? Some sort of mentoring process online. Get online, sign up to mentoring
Dave and
programs.
Sean's mentoring
Yeah.
course. We'll have you.
You'll be eating spicy sausages and having a great time in no time.
Well, if you were able to mentor people into having a shite lifestyle,
I mean, like, I could...
I'd be unreal at that.
Yeah, I'd just be like, lads, just, what you need to do? Stop giving a fuck about yourself. That's it. That's it. Don't care. Eat all the shit a day. And then when you're sitting there eating it, feel even worse afterwards. Because the whole thing made you feel good for that 5 minutes. For the next 3 hours, you'll feel gross inside and you hate yourself even more.
Yeah. Stick on the Xbox.
Yeah, stick it on. And I mean, do you need to sleep? Nah, play it right through to 4 in the morning. It's grand. Then get
You
up
feel brilliant in the morning.
when your
You
baby
know?
wakes up at 5:30 and eating its fourth feed, and then your wife's going, oh yeah, I've been up with them all night and you've been sitting there playing FIFA. And you're like, well, Sean Dave told me to do it. It's a coach. This is how we do it. Let's make...
You don't understand my goals.
No, and I go, that's the thing. Like, I do think a lot of that stuff is very, like, I feel a lot of people nowadays are losing track on what's normal in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think people, and I hate to use the phrase con artists, because people might be like, excuse me, I'm not calling anyone particularly a con artist in any individual. I just think with, like, see, basic stuff. If, like, say it's just a case study, you're doing all that, our lifestyle coach, we have told you, you're playing Xbox all night, you're eating shite, you're smoking whatever, and I'm like, here, what you need? And you're like, what's that? You go to bed a bit earlier, stop eating the shite, don't smoke. And you're like, all right. And then you go and do all that, and you're like, I feel a bit better. And you're like, no fucking shit, because it's fucking obvious. But people are coming out doing that, being like, get up, get in the sea, that'll do it. And it's like, no, it's all goes with that.
There's loads of these people, like, you get the Instagram ads all the time for these coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And I go in sometimes and try and look to see, like, what do these ones do? Like, what's the successful thing that they've done that they're trying to help you emulate? Like, you can't just be a coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's your fucking credentials?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If your life's so great, why is it so great? Like, what did you do?
Yeah. But then, clearly what a lot of them have done is written down what they're grateful for. and stuck up a dream board in the wall, and then there you go. And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You know, you need to manifest it. You know?
I saw a meme the other day, and it was like, I'm not into having girls call me daddy. I like to tell them to call me coach.
Oh no, I find being called daddy weird unless it's by my actual genuine children. You know, I remember I think it was Rachel McPeak was in the podcast once, and she was like, "Yeah, do you like people call?" I'm like, the people who I am genuinely the daddy of, yes. Otherwise, it make me feel weird.
Yeah,
you know,
no, not for it.
No, but I hate daddy. You'd be like, don't call me. That's weird. Like, and then what do you go? Like,
Not
if you're a
your
dad, like, how do you talk dirty if someone calls you daddy? Be like, hey, daddy. Be like, oh, why? You want me to fucking make you breakfast and do your washing? No.
Daddy isn't for me.
You want me to wipe your arse? No. But yeah. Be like, what the fuck,
Daddy
daddy?
changed.
Yeah, well, you like that, do you? Here, do you want me to read you before you go to bed? I
want to do your meal prep for a week.
I want you to bath you. What?
Yes. That's a very sexy thing to say.
With baby boy. Baby boy. No, yeah, I might be daddy. You need a bath. I don't bath my kids with baby oil. So fuck. Yeah, I'd be the worst chat up guy. Hey daddy. Oh, hello daughter. Chat. Or son. That'd be weird. Alright, son. I would.
Alright, love.
If you, I'm calling me dad, Mr. Father, and then you're turning into another kind of perversion altogether. Mm-hmm. Oh, get down your knees, I bless you. You know,
this is something Willie be searching up.
Yeah, I actually reckon Willie would be hilarious to watch doing foreplay, like flirty, not foreplay, role play. You know, Willie's a little daddy and all. Oh no, I'm turns out thinking of. Anyway, we should ring him and be like, Willie, do you ever do role play? Would you be interested in being my daddy? He'd probably be like to me, actually, no, I would genuinely like you.
He's always up for anything. So
yeah, that's how to describe it. That should be, if he's on any dating apps, it should be his bio, always up for anything.
Like, he just does any gig, like, doesn't he?
Mm. He loves stand up now, in fairness.
He's like, that's it. He's just got such an appetite for it. He'll do it anytime, anywhere. Like.
But see, that's the thing about stand up too. Like, there's some gigs where you'll really have to think about it, you know, and you'll go, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if, and you know, you probably are the same with your music gigs, where like someone will offer you a gig and you'll know as soon as it's offered, you'll go, this is gonna be shit, you know.
Yeah.
And you're like, and then to that old adage, you go, is it worth it for the fee to deal with the shit that this is gonna be? And a lot of times, no. That's one of my biggest lessons I've learned is, see if you get the gut feeling it's going to be really shit, just don't do it, no matter how much the money is.
I saw there's like a group chat for all the people that do like the cover like sort of music in the town. Like, no, there's melters like that are sitting in the corner of like Pug Uglies. Yeah. And playing way too loud. Nobody can have a conversation.
Here, don't even start me on that. Last time we were in that fucking Pug Uglies, some bitch was playing with a fucking bass downstairs and that was ruining the whole night.
So that's me. Like, that's so like there's a group chat of everybody that does it in Belfast. It's called the Wonderwallers. Okay. So and you'll get like people know, like, if you can't do a gig, you know, like throw it in, say like, here, bon appetit, we're all eating tonight, who wants this gig in such and such a place. There was one the other day and the fella was like, gig here out in Tyrone, doing Irish ballad songs, right? Irish ballad songs is code for sectarian chunky tunes.
You do some Irish ballad songs.
And the fee was ridiculous.
Like good?
Good.
Yeah.
And I was like, and like, I don't do that, you know, but at the same time I was going, could I be an Irish ballad / sectarian like Chucky song singer for one night, even if it wore the skies? Yeah,
you just be like, dress up as a young Wolf Tone. You go just as Wolf
the military jacket. I feel like it wouldn't go down well. Wolf Tone wore like blue and red.
Wasn't he a prod as well?
He was.
Say cross community, isn't he? Yeah. Inspirational. But and did you? How close were you to doing it?
I know. I didn't even start typing.
Could you? But this is the thing. See, for that, do you know? Could you do it? Like, could you have done it? Would you have been able to pass? Or if they'd have been like, "Here, can you play like obscure ones?" Would you have been like, oh, "I don't know."
I probably could have got away with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been on enough buses to Celtic matches in my life to like, to be able to pass away. But I probably wouldn't have been. It probably wouldn't have given them as much of a stirring performance as as they're used to. But like, I would have passed it.
Yeah.
Like, but I just couldn't do it.
And who took it?
I don't know.
No.
But you're going like, fuck. Yeah. Like, give me a wee gig in a UDA bar.
Yeah.
Like,
see, that's the thing too. Like, I think
there's so much money.
But like in the like, I find like a lot of the maybe sort of Republican style music is like these ballads, these sort of ones about the struggle and like these emotional romantics, like the Grace and all those sort of ones, and they're all. And then in the UDA, like, what Loyalist songs do you play? It was like, well, like Simply the Best and anything by UB40. So you're just out having like, I just have banging tunes.
No, what the worst thing is, so when at the start, like when I was doing those gigs, I was getting loads of those shit ones, and there was loads of like those gut feelings of like, maybe shouldn't take this place, and loads of spots you were going into, either people were coming up suggesting songs, and you're like, what's that? And they go, what do you mean, what's that?
Yeah.
Or you take a break and go in to like have a piss, and somebody comes beside you like in the urinal. I don't know why they're wanking in the first place.
I love that performance.
Champagne Supernova. Colour down years.
Yeah, I'm about to blow my ball here.
But somebody like stands beside you and goes, I hear, where are you from?
Oh no.
Belfast? Whereabouts in Belfast? What's your name? I had an alter ego.
I was about to ask, do you have an...
I do.
Yeah. What's your... Audio God.
Audio God McGinty. No, I had Alan Hill.
Alan
is my fraud name. 15 grand per raid.
Alan Hill.
East Belfast.
Oh, what's right? So right, say I'm coming up beside Alan Hill, and like, what's your name?
Oh my God, it's Alan Hill.
Where are you from? Alan?
I'm from 15 Grand Parade on the Newton Knots Road. G'day.
Alan Hill is such a... Like, you couldn't have picked a more thought of a name on the spot, which Alan.
So yeah, that's my alter ego.
So now there's going to be people watching this in Sandy Road going, fuck, like Uncle
You're
Alan.
on Old Hill, a place in the Working Men's Club.
Yeah. You'll never believe this. Alan Hill's a dick.
But he wears a bowler hat.
I stick on mustache.
Like, I only do it when I've been caught out. Like, I'm sat at the urinal and he goes, whereabouts in Belfast are you from?
Yeah.
There I go, Collaborate. Oh, hold on a second.
I know. That's so fucking ridiculous. There's going to be people out there going, bastard. Oh man, this is a big thing. This is like, you know, whenever you're like a tout or something, or you're undercover and the fucking MI5, this is it. Can you imagine?
I'm never getting a gig in East Belfast again.
I spent years undercover under the alias Alan Hill. Alan Hill is not the real name of the informant inside the UDA.
One of these places, right, was a bar out in Carrickfergus.
Oh no.
And
Southeast Antrim territory.
Yeah.
The UDA.
And like, we would always get a few raised eyebrows in there. And then one of the times, like, we almost blew our cover. Like,
now we say we.
Yeah, but we're doing it as a two-piece.
What's your other bandmate's name?
Matt Toner.
What?
Matt Toner.
Does he just go by that then?
He goes by Matt Toner.
All right, okay. And for Protestant and Catholic gigs?
Yeah, I've because it passes. You know what I mean? It's quite ambiguous.
You just had to throw a wee O in there.
Yeah.
O Toner. If you go,
It's like a trans
yeah.
sectarian. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's both. It's very. Yeah. I bet you get a lot of those looks. Whereabouts do you live?
What about this on off you? MATT.
Yeah.
And he's like, that could work.
That's
That give me no information.
That's very confusing. And whereabouts exactly?
UDA Colombo.
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell me that was his alias, which, by the way, is the most broad. When you're playing in the Felons, it's Matt Toner. You're playing in the Rangers Social Club. Hello, I'm UDA Colombo.
You know, if it was like a Street Fighter character in the 80s, and modeled after somebody here, UDA Colombo.
And he just does your knees to the back. UDA Colombo. But the UDA Colombos there come over. It's always the Uncle Andy face too. Oh dear.
So we were playing in this bar in Carrickfergus, and there was a funeral in.
Oh no.
This wee spot we used to play like this bar didn't even have a place for you to fucking properly perform, right? Didn't have a PA system. You brought your own. Bring your own alias, bring your own fucking PA system, bring your own drink.
I love the idea you just have drawers in the van for like Ranger shirts, Celtic shirts, wee bowler hat, mustache, you know.
My fucking
wee blanket.
Like and you know what drilled that into me? Like my dad fucking taught me to do that. So anytime we would go to like shops or something, or like
Alan Hill.
He used to call me John instead of Sean if we were in a Protestant community.
Yeah.
So
John.
But then what do you call it? So we were playing this bar and we had this set up beside the fucking like the wee game machine.
Yeah.
In the corner. The wee slots. And this one night, you know, most of the time the bar would be quite empty, so fucking we were able to set up straight away. This night
funeral
there was funeral in, place was pumping, right? And there was these women sat at a table right beside where we were meant to set up.
No, were they like were they rough like?
They were lovely.
Alright.
They were lovely to us. So we like went up to them. We says, "Oh, sorry, here the bar told us to set up here.
Yeah.
Are you okay to like move to another table?" And they're like, "Oh, no problem, love. Go ahead." Yeah. We started setting up the PA, and just before we were about to start, because like it was all that kerfuffle, we're a wee bit late starting, so we're trying to go all quick, and we're about 5 minutes into the set, and I looked over, and on the table there was a pint.
Oh no.
And I says, "Oh fuck, here, one of them women's like left that pint there." And we're like, "Oh well, can't stop. Like we'll, like they'll probably realise that they've left it there and they'll come over." 40 minutes go by, and like, and Matt was like, "Here, I'm fucking bussing for a drink." And he's like, "They haven't came back for it. It's probably lukewarm now."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "It's going bad anyway. Give us it. If they come over, I'll get them another drink."
Yeah.
And I lifted it up, handed it to Matt, and he sunk it. And I noticed there's a wee bookie docket, like underneath the pint, and I went, "What's that?" Set it to the side, and night goes on, and the place starts to get real rowdy as they get more drink in them. And these guys, you know, in suits, they were started to fight with each other, and grab each other by the throat and all, and they were like fighting. The bouncers threw them out. But as they were throwing them out, I could just hear them going like, "Where'd you fucking set it? I set it there. What are you on about? It's not there anymore. Oh, you're a fucking dick. Like one thing. It's always a fucking case for you." And then the bouncers throw them out, and you can see them through the window fighting in the street. And like I looked over as we were like packing everything away, going, "Fuck, I was nuts that fight." And I looked at the docket, and I can't remember the name. It was like one for the road, Terry.
See, I see when you were saying that, I was like, I bet you that's our wee tribute to the guy that's died.
So I just said, one for the road, Terry, right? And I thought nothing of it. Was grabbing the speakers and was throwing them in the back of the car. And I started it all started like a Christopher Nolan film. All the pieces started coming together. Like
UDA Columbus.
And I just went, oh fuck, because I remembered, like, I was like, it's a funeral. They were all toasting at the bar. And I was going, what was the name they were toasting to? And they were like, for Terry. And I just went, Matt,
run.
We've just fucking drank a dead man's paint. And I realised then that we'd set up a fucking episode for Give My Headpiece.
Terry's last pint. That's the episode.
And when we went over to look, the wee docket was away and they were looking around the fucking area, so we were like, get the fuck out of it. We never played that bar again. I was going, you're gonna be haunted. I should ask Glenn.
Yeah.
What Terry's crack is.
Terry's fucking up bare parts, fucking hell, thirsty as fuck. And bloody Matt's just and it's the fact that he sunk it too. He got Terry to eat fucking
He prod banger. Somebody takes drinking.
Alan Hill oh my god. Fuck, that was fucking great. Oh, that was terrifying. Sean, this has been a pleasure.
Yes, thank you very much for having me.
This has been a lot of fun. Listen, we could have talked again for probably another hour on top of this, but but your band, Search Party.
Yes. So
which is actually named after what the group on that Carrick bar formed to come and find you and Turner. So Search Party, you're playing.
Search Party, we're playing in the Empire on the 15th of November.
Tonight? Thursday?
No, the Friday. So if you're listening to this, get those tickets bought because we desperately need to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And we'll listen, that's it. I'll get the link in the description anyway, and this will go out early for the patrons anyway. So I'll go today, I'll go out on Wednesday, so we'll get that on Wednesday, get the link out there. So for anyone who doesn't know, Search Party is your band. What sort of music do you play? What sort
indie stuff. See if you're if you like, Arctic Monkeys, Strokes, let's see, Kings of Leon type of stuff and all as well. If that's your vibe, Two Door Cinema Club, local lads, that's then you'll probably vibe with what we're doing. You'll have to search up Search Party Belfast probably because there's a lot of things called Search Party.
Yeah, I probably find and you've already set up a Search Party for William Thompson's Google search history, so you don't need that. But
I made the name when I was 16 or 17 and didn't think to search it in Google first.
Yeah. See, because you're on William's account. So.
Yeah.
But with that, would you take any requests if somebody came up and can you do a wee bit of Simply a Best for us? Or
absolutely not.
No, you're no.
But if it was Alan Hill.
Yeah, if it was Alan Hill.
Absolutely.
You still have the bowler hat and the mustache. Yeah. And where can people follow you if they don't already? Of course, your podcast you produce, is it all under the 1620?
1620 audio. So if you are in the mood to talk shit for an hour, hit me up. If you want a boogie, come to Empire on the 15th of November. Here's playing some of our new tunes. Our biggest show yet. With a new single called Cave that's out at the minute.
Very nice. Where can people catch that?
It's on Spotify. So head on, listen to Cave by Search Party.
Very nice. 15th of November. Tickets available via link in the description, wherever you get the podcast. And Sean McDonnell, thank you very much for coming on the Sly Guy podcast.
Cheers.
I'm the Sly Guy.